It's time for the BSing with the Guys live podcast.
Welcome to the show. Make sure you stay with us. If you're watching this after the stream, stop scrolling. You got a few minutes to kill and check us out. Now, I want to try to make sense tonight of the Army allowing drones to be stolen out of one of their facilities. Also want to get into the possibility of a Gavin Newsom versus Ron DeSantis 2028 presidential showdown. And I want to compare the resumes of the two in case it leads to that, this upcoming race. Now, of course, wherever else these fucking chats and our brains take us, we'll get into a bunch of shit. But first, Justin, hey, tell me about these firearm instructors that you said are basically just lying to people about self-defense laws. You kind of sent me a text, and I didn't want to dig into it too much, so I wanted to talk about it on here. What's going on with that?
All right, so we're a constitutional carry state now, but for whatever reason, we still do like concealed carry classes, which I guess, hey, whatever, right? So my neighbor happened to be taking one, and I was talking to him last night, and he's telling me, I don't even know what the conversation was about, but he was basically telling me that how in Louisiana, if somebody breaks into your house, you'd have to be careful because if they're not armed and you shoot them, you'll go to prison. And I was like, that's absolutely false. Not true at all.
If they break in your house?
If they break in your house while you're in it. And I was like, no, that's completely false. That's once they cross your threshold in Louisiana, that's a wrap. Like, sorry about your bad luck, buddy. And he was like, well, that's what, the instructor at the concealed carry place was telling me, that, you got to be careful because if they don't have anything like a knife or a gun and you shoot them, you're going to prison. And I was like, your instructor's a fucking idiot. And absolutely not. So then he's telling me about how they were basically trying to pushing him towards buying this USCCA concealed carry insurance type deal. It's basically where they'll pay for your lawyer if you're in a self-defense situation and you get arrested. And I was like, these slimy motherfuckers. I was like, I don't know if they're getting a fucking kickback or what. I'm like, your fucking instructor is at best a fucking idiot and doesn't know the laws.
At worst, he's a fucking liar.
Yeah, at worst, he's a fucking liar because he's trying to get a kickback off this fucking insurance shit. And either way, he shouldn't be a fucking instructor because that's your job. You're supposed to be teaching people about the gun laws, firearm safety, shit like that. And then you're either incorrect about it or you're lying about it on purpose.
So they sell insurance to help with legal fees if you were to get into an altercation and shoot somebody in self-defense, so to say. Yeah, no wonder they instructors have to be. They have to be paid. You can't be that stupid in Louisiana to be teaching that, telling people you can't defend yourself if someone comes in your home.
Exactly.
So you might want to buy this insurance in case you have to shoot somebody that enters your home. Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
I was like,
it's on Hannity's radio show too, man. He advertises it all the time.
The self-defense kind of insurance?
Concealed carry insurance, yeah.
USCCA, the U.S. Concealed Carry Association, and
they got insurance.
You pay them a yearly fee, and then you're a part of their group, and they'll pay for your lawyer and pay for your bond. But you also have to meet the requirements if you do get in legal trouble. Like it has to basically, I guess, to them sound like it could be a justifiable homicide. Which, I mean, that's crazy in itself. That like. They have discretion of letting you use this fucking insurance that you paid for.
That's just nuts. Yeah, that's another money grab by another insurance entity. Which we're all battling right now across the country.
Like I said, they've got to be paying these instructors because I'll look up the justifiable homicide law in Louisiana so that I could get a full print of it. And so Section 4A is it's justifiable when it's committed by a person lawfully inside of a dwelling They were inside when the conflict began, and it was against a person who was attempting to make an unlawful entry into the dwelling. Motor vehicle committing a homicide.
Give a shout out, Matt. What's up, Matt? Good evening, deplorable veteran. Good evening. Thank you for tuning in.
Well, yeah, Matt.
As always, love you guys. But keep going.
Yeah, they list a dwelling, a business, a car like 6 times, and the person committing the homicide reasonably believes that the use of deadly force is necessary to prevent the entry or to compel the intruder to leave the dwelling, place of business, or motor vehicle. So nowhere in there does it say you must feel your life is in danger in Louisiana.
No, not in Louisiana at all. Not when it comes to someone entering your home. You know,
exactly.
Now, if they're just standing on your porch, that's a different story. But yeah, once they come into your fucking home, it's an open season on them. Now, I guess someone selling concealed carry insurance doesn't want you to know that. But I mean, it's the fucking law around here, which should be the law nationwide, but it's a shame there's some places where you can't, you can't defend your home like that.
Yeah, you have to run to the closet, call the police, and basically get shot first.
You have to exhaust every measure of, attempting to get out of the situation before you can use deadly force. That's bullshit right there. That's fucking nonsense. I mean, as soon as you enter my home, that's it. I should be able to take your ass out. Whether you were there to do harm or not, I don't know that, and I don't want to find out.
That's not my problem to figure out. You broke into my shit while I was in it.
Yeah, so now you figure it out.
Yeah, like
you figure out why you fucked up.
Exactly. I was like, no, Louisiana doesn't give the criminals the upper hand in this bullshit like some of these fucking states do. Like, you cross this fucking threshold or that fucking windowsill, that's your ass, partner. Sorry.
No,
wrong house.
And I think it's the right way to go, man. Like you said, it's Louisiana doesn't play. A lot of these southern states don't. When it comes to being able to defend your home and your family, and why not? Why shouldn't you be able to do that? It's amazing.
Isn't that part of the Castle Act or something like that?
Yes, Castle Doctrine.
Yeah, the doctrine. Yeah, so
Castle Doctrine. Yeah,
it's just crazy that some of these politicians don't believe a citizen should have the right to do that. And until somebody breaks into their fucking home.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I think it's written perfectly. Like, again, it says nothing about being in fear of your life or if the person's there to cause harm. In Louisiana, it's assumed that if somebody is breaking into your dwelling, they are there to cause harm.
Yeah,
that is your fear of your life right there, is that they're breaking into the house.
Yeah, we don't have to meet them, inside the living room and have a fucking interview. Like, what do you plan on doing here tonight?
Nope.
Yeah, I love that about being down south, man. Is you can protect yourself. Not saying it's just a free for all where you just run around gunning people down, because that's almost a belief with some people around the country. Is places like Texas that you just walk in the streets and just shoot people and stuff. Like we're having Wild West showdowns in the South, but no, it's more about protecting you, your family, and your possessions, and down in the South, they're very lenient with that. There are laws. If somebody's breaking into your car, you can't just walk outside and shoot them. You know what I mean? Yep. It's not that crazy down here, but when they make it from my car to in my front door, you're trouble. You're not walking back out.
And you lose down here. You lose the justifiable homicide defense if you're committing crimes in your house, right? So if you're selling drugs or any other illegal things are taking place, or you have even, whatever, like say you were cooking coke or some shit for personal use, it's illegal, though you weren't selling it. It doesn't matter. Like, you lose that defense if somebody breaks in and shoots them.
It's still odd to me, because I feel like, so if I have a pound of weed in my closet and somebody kicks my door in, I can't legally defend myself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's so weird to me, because what if they could just be coming in to do something else that has nothing to do with the weed that I have. You should still have a right to protect your family. That's an odd one, but I guess whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, because it says Section C, a person who is not engaged in unlawful activity and who is in a place where he or she has a right to be shall have no duty to retreat before using deadly force as provided in this section.
Yeah. You got something for Matt? Matt says he may need something, Justin.
Hell yeah, come over.
We don't participate in those activities, Matt.
Just say no.
Anyway, yeah, speaking of crazy activities, man, you weren't anywhere near that base where them drones came up missing, were you, Justin? I know you're always no, not me. No, apparently they were it's nuts, man. When I read that headline, I'm like, what in the fuck are we doing as a military operation? I mean, the drones were stolen from a locked storage area inside a secured government building. It doesn't.
If I knew it was that easy, I probably would have been over there.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't understand. Like, is it an inside job? I mean, how do you get?
Right. Is it Fort Campbell, Kentucky? Is this where that happened?
Yeah. Yeah, over there, the Kentucky-Tennessee border over there, man. It has happened sometime between November 21st and the 24th. They don't even fucking know. It's nuts, dude. I mean,
so did they just find out they were missing, or are they just releasing the information?
I don't know. Apparently, the Army said on March 10th of 2026, they publicly announced a measly $5,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and the conviction of the ones responsible. But it really, I don't understand how is it that simple to just get in a base like that and just go take something out of a locked storage unit? It's got to be an inside job, but for what? You know what I mean? Like, what are they taking them for? I mean,
what kind of drones were they?
They called them
quadcopters or something.
Yeah, the Sky DOX-10D, whatever the fuck something that means. Like that. Let's look it up.
So they weren't armed?
Well, that's what they claim, but you don't think they're going to tell the American citizens that.
It'd be a lot cooler if they were.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you don't have to worry. They're just cameras, And I'm like, oh,
there's no threat to the public, dude. Yeah, everything's good.
So, yeah, it's like, how dangerous are these fucking things? You can stop lying,
It'd be a lot cooler if they were armed.
Well, for one, why are you risking breaking into a military base or a building to steal
just
drones that just do camera work?
Yeah, like go steal from Best Buy, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Do like normal people and steal from Walmart or something, So it's like, what else would they want these for? They had to be more than just camera.
If they don't have bombs, it definitely wasn't me. So
no, I don't. If it's not going to blow some shit up.
No, I'm not stealing unarmed drones. That's stupid.
No, it's really scary to know that if it was an outside job, it's horrible to think that someone could walk in a place like that that's supposed to be heavily secure and just go snatch up some drones, because it's like, what else can they go in there and take if it's that simple? I mean, what else could someone have access to that really wants to get in there and grab something that can do some damage,
It had to be an inside job, dude.
Because
I've been on, when I was doing spray foam, we had a government contract, and them bitches had that shit locked the fuck down. And it was just a little government research facility.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Dude, I'm talking about like full background checks before you could even touch the fucking premises, and you had to go through 3-4 gates and then check in with an officer at the gates and then check in with somebody else to walk you through the building. And dude, it was locked the fuck down.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like there's no way a civilian walked in there that didn't have some sort of idea of how operations work in that building. There's no fucking way. And if they did, then somebody needs to lose their fucking job, or multiple people need to be kicked out of the fucking service, because that's dangerous, man.
Well, depending on what was on the drones, probably prison. I mean, if you're letting people come in and steal explosives and, military weaponry, it's...
No, that's true, man. A lot of people were linking it to some sort of false flag operation against Iran. The prominent theory suggests that these stolen drones could be used in a staged attack to blame Iran, just to justify more military action by us,
And weren't they already talking about Iran wanting to drone fucking California?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's kind of funny, you know what I mean? How these drones were stolen back, in November?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, recently, the U.S. comes out and starts telling people that, there could be drone attacks going to hit California.
It's convenient timing.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going on, but it sure does seem fishy. And, it's not like the U.S. is innocent when it comes to false flag operations by any means. There's been a lot of accusations, some of them proven. So it's not like they're a stranger to doing that, and I don't put it past them at all. I don't put anything past this fucking government that we've got.
Yeah. I did read where it said the individuals that they're blaming for this actually had authorization on the base to the secure location. Yeah. I mean, they did say that. And
so they know who did it?
Nah, they're not saying that now, brother. No, they're just saying that.
But they know that they had authorization.
It just says here, man. It just says it was from a locked storage facility on a secured government building. The individuals responsible had authorized access to the military installation and the building, and they defeated the locks on the storage cages to perpetrate this theft. This was a targeted act, not a random breach of security, I guess, yeah.
They're sour Skittles.
Sour Skittles, the vape?
Continue.
Yeah, I saw that. The motherfucker, they know what's going on. They know exactly. How do you have access to it and now, but they don't know who did it? Like,
absolutely.
It's nuts, man. So then it's like, what is the purpose behind it? And then it leads you right back to this false flag kind of, operation. Is that what was going on here? And if it is, well, that's a fucking shame too, because it's, I guess it works a lot of times to be able to justify going to war for whatever reason the U.S., wants to go in there. Well, they always need a reason to give to the people, right? So there's no telling how many times they've actually done that in all of these conflicts they get involved in. It makes you wonder, are any of them ever really justified? I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Because if you go down the list, I mean, I'm sorry, Justin, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I was going to say there's been plenty of at least accusations thrown at him. I mean, it starts like back in 1898, the U.S. Navy battleship USS Maine exploded in the Havana harbor, killing 266 sailors, which was blamed on a Spanish mine to justify the Spanish-American War. Now, critics claim it was deliberate self-sabotage or at least exaggeration to provoke war and seize Spanish colonies like Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines. Now, some of the evidence they provided for that was initial U.S. investigations concluded it was an external mine, but a 1976 study by an admiral suggested an internal coal bunker fire caused the explosion. So once they really dug into it, it looks like, they were saying it was an external force that caused it. This guy's digging in deep enough, and from what he's seeing, something inside the place caused it. So that's back in, like I said, 1898. Then you jump up to the Pearl Harbor attack. And President Roosevelt, he provoked or allowed the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor to draw the U.S. into World War II. This is the accusation, at least. And the evidence cited in that, they were saying that declassified memos show U.S. intelligence cracked Japanese codes and knew of rising tensions. But FDR's oil embargo on Japan is cited as the provocation for it. So it goes right back to, to some oil shit. Well, it's hard to argue with any of that. I mean, they got declassified memos that are stating some of it. And the big one was the Vietnam War, of course, with the Gulf of Tonkin incident. I mean, North Vietnamese boats allegedly attacked the U.S. destroyers that were out there, the USS Maddox and the USS Turner Joy. Now, that led to the Gulf of Tonkin resolution and a full U.S. escalation into Vietnam. Well, once they declassified documents on that, they had to admit that the second attack never occurred. That
Wow.
they used as an excuse to go in full force and start destroying shit in Vietnam. You know, it was either that or they're calling it a major mistake because they said sonar readings were misinterpreted as torpedoes. So they're in there in the ships claiming that they're being fired on by torpedoes. The U.S. is telling the citizens in our country, well, they fired upon our ships out there in the Gulf. We have no choice now. And they went in there, and of course, and the rest is history. So point being, I mean, these false flags, it happens all the time, or at least, you know, accusations of it. And then people start digging into it. And there's a lot of strong evidence to a lot of it, you know. So, I mean, it goes on and on, man. It's, you know, they I want to say 1953, they had the Iranian coup, which the CIA orchestrated riots and bombings in Tehran, posing as communists to blame the prime minister over there and justify his overthrow. Well, evidence again is declassified CIA documents detailed paid mobs and propaganda, you know, that were over there staging these false flag, you know, attacks. I mean, it doesn't stop, man. The more you dig into this shit, the more you see. Everything we're told about what's going on is a fucking lie. Everything.
Yeah. Look, fast forward, Shane, to 9/11 and, you know, weapons of mass destruction and all of that, man, you know, and I totally believe to this day there was no weapons of mass destruction. I don't believe there was, man. I just think
that's true. I mean,
it was over oil, you know,
that's,
for the most part.
So true. I mean, there's, you know, while not, you know, a classic false flag, but, you know, they were still accused of fabricating evidence for these weapons of mass destructions to blame Saddam, you know, and I mean, they cited, you know, evidence on that the Downing Street memo, they called it, shows intelligence fixed around the policy, you know, and that means the UN inspectors found no weapons of mass destructions at all. Because I remember it's not even that, you know, we don't think there was any. They didn't find any. And all that did was lead to this, you know, our soldiers being over there for years upon years, you know, losing innocent lives. You know, we're over there sending our guys over there to die over some bullshit, you know. I mean, it's crazy. And then, fuck, you remember the anthrax attacks back in about, I think it was 2001? Well, that was, of course, the letters, you know, contained anthrax spores mailed to media and senators. A lot of people claim that was a false flag, you know, to link Iraq to terrorism. That justified the 2003 invasion. Now, the evidence they cite for that is the FBI initially blamed Iraq based on bentonite traces, later debunked. That was debunked. The anthrax strain traced to a U.S. lab, but Bruce Ivins was the suspect. Well, of course, he died by suicide and therefore never had a trial, you know, was never able to be arrested and go to trial for this. So it's another one of those mysterious, you know, deaths that come through, but they were caught basically lying about this shit, about where these spores came from, you know. So why lie? Why lie at all about it unless you're trying to cover something up? So I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I'd hate to think that the government we live under would do that, but hey, man, they do it, you know.
I don't believe anything the government says.
No,
dude. Nothing at all.
No,
all the way from back then to 9/11 to COVID, all of that.
Yeah, it's a shame that you got to think like that, but they get you to that point, you know, where you almost don't have an option. I mean, it's terrible. That's why I always say, man, the more you look into all this and start paying attention, you almost wish you didn't half the time. You know, it's nuts, man. But it is. It's just the world we live in. And a lot of people would think you're crazy if they hear you talking about that. But, man, I don't know. A lot of it starts to make sense, you know. I mean, we saw just as recent as this pandemic, you know, we saw what the government is willing to put its people through in order to gain control and money. Right. We saw it. We all watched it. There's no denying that it was way overblown and that they were giving you medical information, so to say, that turned out to be total fucking lies. It wasn't mistakes. It was lies.
Yes.
Right? So, they were willing to do that without giving two fucks about the repercussions on how it would affect the everyday person living in this country. They didn't care. They had a goal. Part of that goal, I think, was to shut down the country, have mail-in ballots, and pull off theft when it comes to the election. I believe that was a big part of it. I think, a lot of people say they released that virus on purpose. I don't know. I if nothing else, best case scenario, they used it to their advantage for sure. Once it did get out, right?
Absolutely,
and that's
100%.
And that's not taking away the idea that they may have purposely done that shit. I don't know, but either way, they knew the majority of what they were telling us at the time was fucking lies. So anyway, I'll shut
100%.
up now. Let somebody else talk.
Ramble on. Yes, I do believe it, man. If you read some stuff about it, it was about population control and, and just to see it all, the way it all went down. I mean, people lost their jobs, their careers, their businesses. Jesus God, dude, all over a hype of the flu, if that's what you want to call it, It's just a damn shame, dude. It really was,
Well, it was because it's not to say that it wasn't dangerous to anyone. I mean, I don't
absolutely. I'm not saying that. Yeah,
out,
I'm not saying that. Yeah.
But I just believe that half of the stuff that has come out to be proven false, I think they knew that from the very beginning, and they like to run with, well, we were just going with the science at the time. It's like, no, you're full of shit. They know how viruses work. It wasn't the first fucking virus to ever come out, They knew. I think they knew that it wasn't as dangerous to young kids as they pushed it. So then they were but mentally forcing these parents to run out and get your kids stuck with this shit, which has been proven now that wasn't a good idea because of the myocarditis that some of these, especially in young males for some reason, the heart issues that some of these kids were having, man. And I think they knew that from day one. That matter of fact, what was that documentary, Justin, the Fauci one?
Thank you, Dr. Fauci.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Fauci. It pretty much proves everything that we were thinking about that dirty son of a bitch.
Absolutely.
So I believe that was almost, I don't want to say a false flag because they didn't technically go to war because of it, but it was definitely a lie at some scale by multiple governments. This was a worldwide thing.
dude. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. And you sit back and you look at it, and I think a lot had to do with the dollars, the money, big pharma, and then knowing that they can't be held accountable for it, so.
Well, that's the worst.
And then
part.
population control. That's the one I'm going with, dude. They want to get rid of us peasants, man,
Yeah,
so.
now they're complaining because we're not making babies fast enough. Because they're worried about they may not have enough, people to carry on paying these taxes. So they're worried about the birth rate going down. That's the last thing this you would think this country wants is to have less people because, like I said, that's less taxes coming in later on. So I've seen them bitching about that. But then you hear them, like you just mentioned. I mean, people like, not that Bill Gates is running the government, but let's face it, the man's very wealthy and probably has pull. And you hear him openly talk about it. Like there's just too many fucking people around.
Yep.
And it's like, well, you can start by taking yourself out. That's one less. So anyway.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Fuck him and his Microsoft. Yeah.
Yep. But anyway, what's going on in them chats, man? Everyone who got the jab always getting sick. Yeah, I know a lot of people that did,
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't blame anybody that got it because, some people were just scared. They scared people. The ones I blame are the ones that were pushing it, knowing better. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I don't hold it against anybody who ran out and got that. I mean, a lot of people just don't. I mean, they don't know what to do in those kind of situations. They were just too afraid to take a chance. So, I mean, it's just a shame that they were firing people for not doing it. They're not allowing them to travel and, whatever these rules were if you didn't do this. And they wanted to keep saying they weren't forcing anybody to do it, but yet you couldn't do a fucking thing if you didn't do it. It's just sick, man. It's sick. I don't even want to go too far down that because it just disgusts me to this day because it's going to be something that eventually is just forgot about. You know, it's just people just going to move on.
Absolutely.
They're going to forget how bad that was. Like the ill intent behind that by these powers, at B. I don't know. I just think it's something that people never need to forget about when you start thinking the government might be looking out for you. Just remember what the fuck happened during that. And that's in our lifetime. You can go back further, you go back decades or whatever, and I'm sure it's been happening, almost since this fucking government was formed, as far as just the power struggle and just the corruptness. So, it's nothing new, but we got to watch that one unfold as adults and really look at it, It's crazy, but I don't know. It's all nuts. So if you didn't take the jab, you lost your job, Glenn Paul says. A lot of people did. Yeah, that was the option, if you work, especially in the medical field. That was the option they gave you. It's like, you don't have to take it, but, that degree that you earned, it took you 4, 5, 6, 7 years to earn. This job you've been at for 12, 15 years, well, yeah, you're not going to be able to come here no more. I mean, tell me that ain't forcing you.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I know, we all know, a guy that he was on his way to being a heart surgeon. And, I mean, he was acing his shit in medical school. I mean, just a bright fucking kid, man. And he was on his way, graduated high school early, got all these scholarships to the college, was on his way. And once they tried to force him to take that jab, he quit. His whole life went in a total different direction because of that. Because he was smart enough to say, no, fuck you. You're not sticking that in me. But it's still, man, it stopped a guy from doing what he worked so hard to do that he had to figure out another path because he wasn't doing it, So, I mean, that's a tough decision, man. It's a tough decision. I know another guy that was making, damn good money as a tugboat captain. I mean, them guys around here make money. They're well into the 6 figures. And he quit because of it. He just said, fuck it. I don't care. The money ain't worth it, And that's a lot of money to give up when you're used to living that kind of lifestyle. But so, like I said, not everybody's got that in them, and I don't blame them. I mean, but I'm just glad that we weren't in a position, any of us here, that were being forced to do that shit. We could do it if we wanted to, but we weren't being forced to,
Right.
So what's up, Ryan? Ryan's back. All your right-wing media outlets have a vaccine mandate. Actually, they got the job. Well, I don't give a fuck. What does that mean? That's not my right-wing media outlets. I don't watch any of that shit. I scroll X all day. I don't sit down and watch the news. But, yeah, they did too because they're bought and paid for by the pharmaceutical companies also. Fox News isn't innocent. Newsmax isn't innocent. I mean, look at any of their commercials. Dude. Yeah, when it's pharmaceutical commercials, you're damn right they were playing the game. Anybody who spoke out against it got fucking fired from their networks too, Yeah, I don't doubt that at all, man. The pharmaceutical companies are they have a tight grip on the government, the media. There's just so much money they have to throw around that they control all of it, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Just, pay attention when you watch TV. Just pay attention to the commercials. And it doesn't have to be prescription drugs, but just anything. It could be Tylenol, but the point is it's pharmaceutical commercials. I mean, it's nuts, dude. It's got to be 70 to 75% of all TV advertisement is fucking some way, shape, or form is tied to pharmaceuticals. Like I said, whether it be over the counter or not, but that's how massive they are, man. So when you've got stations that rely on that, well, they're not going to go against that shit. I mean, they're not stupid. That's where their money's coming in. Israel beat, well, we can get on COVID. I don't mind that. Let's get on. Israel beat COVID with herd immunity. 98% got the jab, and they were unaffected by COVID-19. Israel beat COVID herd immunity. Well, how did 98%? Why did 98% get the jab then? Can you make sense of that, son?
No, that sounds.
I don't understand how they go along with each other. Because if they beat it with herd immunity, then why did 98% get the jab? I don't know. I don't get it.
Forced. No,
I'm lost on that one. You lost me. Because they're not dumb fucks.
He loves to beat up on us, dude. He's been here the last few weeks, dude. But we welcome it. As long as you subscribe, Ryan, you're good, dude. So.
Ryan loves us. Ryan loves us. But anyway. What else is going on? Oh, I know. I was scrolling X, and I'm looking at, let me pull it up right here so I don't misquote or misrepresent how this fuckwad, believes. But it says Gavin Newsom's new law grants parole to pedo with over a 300-year sentence, right? And I'm like, that's interesting. I mean, it didn't shock me, I guess, because it's Gavin Newsom and it's California, and that's what they do. But, he's got a new law where this gentleman was in prison he was being convicted on dozens of felony counts, including a lewd act on a child, kidnapping a child to commit a lewd act on a child with force or violence, okay? This sick motherfucker sitting in prison. Well, Newsom puts out some new law that he, got, signed or whatever that allows him to basically, if they've served 20 years or whatever, that they get the option to get out if they're 50 years or older. So, of course, this guy falls under that law. So he gets to get out of prison, even though he did that. Like, what goes through this guy's mind? Like, how can anybody over there really go for something like that? Like, the people that vote for this guy, it blows my mind, man, that people just think that's okay. And that a politician would actually come up with that. Because, I mean, I get on the surface what he's doing. If you're over 50 years old, they called it some elderly shit, which, I mean, come on now. How elderly is 50 for one? But for two, it's like if you haven't done anything that heinous, I mean, yeah, if you're in there for some drug charge, okay, well, whatever. No, you're old enough now. You served over 20 years. But when it comes to that, there should be no way to get around serving your time when you violated a child like that. None. There should be no clause or no catch to any law. All that should be looked at before creating these laws and signing off on these laws. And I just don't understand, how people go along with that vote for people like that. It's nuts, man.
But let me ask you, do you really think, and I know we can't judge for or say what Gavin Newsom's thinking, but do you really think he really thinks this is okay, or is it the money that's behind it?
It's got to be the money, man. It's got to be the money. I don't know, I don't know how you make money off of something like that, but I assume there's got to be something, because he can't believe that. He's got kids. You can't really believe that a child, a molester or somebody who violates a child needs any kind of break on their prison sentence. It's how? Mm-hmm. You can't believe that as a full-grown adult that's not also a pedo. You can't believe that. That's the only people I could ever see defending that. Because you see it a lot. Oh, they need a second chance. They don't deserve anything but the death penalty. No. Which brings us to DeSantis. Because you're now eligible for it if you violate, I want to say, a child under the age of 12, I think it is. And I was like, that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. You kill these motherfuckers. That's the only answer. And then you got on a total opposite end of that spectrum, you got an idiot like Gavin Newsom giving them a fucking break because they're over a certain age. I don't give a fuck if they're 85. Fuck them. Let them die in prison.
I agree.
But so I started thinking, I mean, what do you think about DeSantis, Brad? What as far as if he were to be nominated to run for president on the Republican side? I mean, is that something you get behind, or I mean, is there anything you don't like about DeSantis that I'm maybe forgetting from when he ran the first time, or anything that he did? Because it doesn't sound like a bad idea to me.
No, it doesn't sound like a bad idea, Shane. I don't know what kind of shot he would have even running in this next election in 28. At the forces that may be right now, I mean, I think your two runners are going to be J.D. Vance and or Marco Rubio are going to be your top two contenders. But I mean, I like what DeSantis does. I think he's got some great laws, and I think he runs a tight ship. With California, when you look at surpluses and you look
exactly. Well, in my mind, I started laying out a DeSantis versus Newsom run, in 2028, because I stand behind, as of right now, Gavin Newsom is their guy. Now, I don't know if he's going to make it that far. Maybe somebody else comes out of the ashes that's not so hardcore left, maybe more of a moderate that they can throw up there. But as of right now, he seems like the one that's really trying to make a push. And I haven't heard much talk, about DeSantis running on the other side. But I was like, well, let me look at, how they're on the political spectrum, what sides they're on and how far apart they are if they were to run. So I start pulling up some of the contrast, and you've got, DeSantis over here with the Parental Rights and Education Act. Of course, that's what they call the Don't Say Gay ban or whatever, where it bans on gender identity and sexuality discussion in schools. Sounds good to me. Elimination of DEI in universities. Sounds like a win. Universal school choice vouchers to empower parents over public monopolies. So sounds great. Well, then you go over to Newsom. He opposes parental notification on gender issues, protects transgender youth access to care, school policies without parental consent in some cases. He bans book bans when it comes to these pornographic LGBTQ books that we've all seen people standing up in these school board meetings and reading out loud, and they get shut down because it's so fucking vulgar, Well, that's what Gavin Newsom's all for. He wants to keep that in the schools. So I'm thinking, how is that not a win in the DeSantis, side? If for everybody, anybody that's got kids, anybody who's not out of their fucking mind, And then there's the one that's it's controversial discussion, the abortion, DeSantis has the 6-week heartbeat ban, which I'm all for. I mean, I don't think you need to be killing babies that have heartbeats, at least. Now, I am pro-choice in the beginning. I mean, I will say that. I'm not totally against abortion, but I do think there's a line to be drawn, Well, of course.
Yeah, none of this 9-month shit, dude, or birth. You know what I'm saying, dude? I just, I'm like you. Dude.
Yeah.
I just, it's your choice. Do what you want. But I do believe one says a heartbeat.
Right. And Newsom's over there expanding access to people, In other words, making it easier for these people to kill their babies, no matter how you want to look at it. I mean, whatever. I mean, you may agree with it or not, but you're still, you're killing the baby. So he's helping them do it. So, to me, it's another win for DeSantis. Now, Justin, a big one I know you're into is the gun and Second Amendment issues. Well, DeSantis decided permitless concealed carry and expansions on self-defense rights. Sounds amazing to me.
Yeah, I like that part. What I don't like about DeSantis, so he signed the HB 269 bill, which is basically no hate speech bill, which on the surface sounds great. Hate speech as far as like threatening and basically spewing hate about religions and whatnot, right? But what this led to already was this lady basically had 2 cops knocking at her door. It's on video. Because of her comment on Facebook, which I'll read it. It says the guy, she's talking about DeSantis, but the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way, even leaves the room when they vote on related matters, wants you to know that you're all welcome here, right? Now, that was her comment. And the police showed up to her house for hate speech and threatening speech for that comment.
In Florida?
In Florida.
Read that comment again. I want to hear it.
The guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leaves the room when they vote on related matters. Want you to know that you're all welcome here. Clown faces. So the police showed up to this lady's house.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's on video.
Okay, well, that's definitely an X in DeSantis. It just seems like there's got to be more to that. I mean, what did she say that would warrant police coming to the house?
Picture to make sure it's you. We're not sure.
Okay.
All right. the Facebook. Is that your account?
I refuse to answer questions without my lawyer present. So I really don't know how to answer that question
Okay,
either
well,
way.
you're, like I said, you're
I
not
mean, this
going
is
to jail.
freedom of speech. This is America, right?
And I-
Veteran.
And I agree with you 100%.
All
We're
right.
just trying to see if it's you, because if we're not talking to the right person, we want to go see who the right person
Okay,
is.
how can I help you?
So pretty much it's just a statement that was made as far as,
Verbatim, it says the guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians, tried to shut down a theater for showing a movie that hurt his feelings, and refuses to stand up for the LGBTQ community in any way. Even leaves the room when they vote and on related matters. Wants you to know that you are all welcome. Clown face, clown face, clown face. 3 days ago.
You don't know if it was you?
I'm not going to answer whether that's me or not.
That
Okay,
can't be
the
Florida.
concerning
Are you
part-
sure that's Florida?
And not concerning for the person who's posting it. What we're just trying to prevent is somebody else getting agitated or agreeing with the statement. We're not saying it's true or not.
Understood.
That guy who consistently calls for the death of all Palestinians,
Mhm.
that can probably incite somebody to do something radical. That's all we're here to talk about.
That's what they didn't like?
We wanted to get your side. If it was you that posted that,
Wow.
I would think to refrain from posting things like that, because that could get something
I
incited.
appreciate your concern. I appreciate you coming out.
Tell him, fuck off, dude.
Fuck
Get
Yeah,
out my
get
house.
the
I'm
fuck
gonna
out my
maintain my,
doorway.
Fuck
And then
out
they
of here,
left.
dude.
But so
Yeah.
what the fuck? You know, I mean, that's
Yeah.
a violation of
whatever-
the First Amendment if I've ever seen one. You know, I mean,
I wonder whatever came of that.
But they left right after, and pretty much nothing
That's crazy.
past that.
man.
But for them to knock at your door over
Now,
a
who
Facebook post, and you're not even calling for violence on
Nothing.
anybody. You're saying that the politician you don't like is calling for violence against somebody. You know, basically for supporting the Israel in the Palestine-Israel war. And yeah,
I wonder who signed off on that for them to go to that fucking house over that bullshit. I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy, man. Like I didn't.
Well,
see
you've heard that
anything there.
people in Europe, man, and was it England maybe that people are making bad, derogatory comments on Facebook or whatever, man, or getting 6 months in jail.
Yeah,
and
I
Yeah,
expect
yeah.
that over there. It was just odd to see that in
It's
Florida
just-
when it wasn't really.
I think
a
it goes on
threat.
more than you know. I really do. I think it goes on more than
Wow.
you know with people comment. So
Huh? That's crazy.
Yep.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, that's an If DeSantis approved of that, then yeah, that's not very well. But
so the bill, basically in 2023, he added to a bill and he signed HB 269 titled Public Nuisances, which makes it a felony to harass individuals based on religion or ethnicity. The law also criminalizes leaving flyers or materials containing hateful messages or credible threats on private property. This legislation was prompted by a rise in anti-Semitic incidents across Florida, including harassment, flyers, and public displays of hate symbols. The law applies to all religions and ethnicities and is intended to curb harassment while balancing free speech concerns.
Well, and I get that. I just think they went overboard,
yes,
by going to her house. But I kind of understand it now that you say that there is a law and that they were trying to use the excuse that this sounds like you're inciting violence against someone, but it really is
Right.
not what she said at all.
Not at all.
But for some asshole cop trying to get a notch on their belt, I guess I can see, well, let's go visit this lady and make sure, but they know they had nothing there. And that's why
they didn't even
there was
push.
nothing they can do. Yeah. Well,
Is this you?
Well, outside of that,
Outside of that,
he's
yeah, I mean-
usually good. DeSantis is. But anyway, you get back to the Second Amendment. You look at Newsom's things. He's got the strict controls on that. The assault weapons bans, the red flag laws, these ammo taxes that he's throwing on his people over there, which is ridiculous. I think it's like 11% ammo tax or some shit over there. That's just nuts, bro. Because all that does, of course, is it makes it harder for law-abiding people to afford anything. Not saying
obtain
they
it, yeah.
can't, but it still makes it harder. And the people that don't give a fuck, that'll just steal it or whatever, I mean, it just
Right.
makes it better for them. That's a win in their fucking category, So you got that. And then, of course, when it comes to just criminal justice and public safety, I mean, that's a no-brainer comparing these two. DeSantis has been tough on crime. He's got that death penalty expansion, which I'm not sure I like that, because it's you don't have to have a unanimous jury to convict somebody to death. I kind of like, because I think in this state you have to, if I'm not mistaken. And
yeah, I believe most of them you do.
Yeah, and I almost think that if there's a doubt in anybody's mind on the jury, then you know what I mean? Then somehow something caused that doubt. So to end someone's life on that when it's not unanimous, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one, but either way, he's tougher on crime, way more tough on crime than Newsom's going to ever be. I mean, he's all for the bail reform shit. He wants these, reduced sentences for non-violent crimes. I can kind of go along with that, as long as you're not habitual. Because even if it's just theft, okay? Well, how many times you can let somebody steal somebody's shit before you give them some kind of harsh penalty? But, if it's just nonsense kind of drug charges, or you're just some petty theft for a couple times and whatever, maybe cut him a break. I don't know what the sentences were to begin with, so maybe it justified lowering those. But, of course, he's doing this sanctuary expansion, limiting the cooperation that his local authorities will have with ICE, and that's just pandering to the illegal immigrants over there. So you're not going to get that from DeSantis for sure. What else are the taxes and economy? Of course, DeSantis has no state income tax. Business friendly, low regulations over there as far as when it comes to these businesses. I mean, you ain't getting that over there in California the way Newsom runs. So if he's running the country, you can expect the higher income tax rates. He's got gas taxes because he's trying to end all fucking gas vehicle production or some shit in his state by 2045. A grid that can't handle what they're trying to handle now, and he wants everybody to be on fucking electric. You got these minimum wage hikes, which that's another argument as far as if minimum wage needs to be raised. But when you do it to the extent that someone like Gavin Newsom does it, it just drives up the cost of everything just overnight. So then everybody suffers when you do that, instead of pushing that, hey, if you want to make more than minimum wage, then do what you have to do to better your situation. And I'm not saying that's easy and maybe not even possible for everybody, but that should still be the sentiment that's pushed, right? That if you don't want to live off a minimum wage, well, try to do something to get yourself in a higher income bracket. Go to work, bust your ass, work more, whatever. We've all had to manage it, and it is attainable. So, but anyway.
Yep. Really
that's just kind of the the kind of pros and cons of both. Because like I said, I'm not a fan of everything DeSantis does, but if you put them two together, I mean, goddamn, there's definitely a clear winner in that. And then when it comes,
there's only one you can go with. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, yeah, especially when it comes to these kids with this LGBTQ gender shit. I mean, DeSantis bans gender affirming care for minors, and I think that's fucking great. I don't think any minor should be deciding on that. They should have to be an adult, just like many other things in this country that you have to be an adult to participate in for a reason. Because kids can't. How the fuck can you take your child anywhere and because they feel like certain issue because of some social trend that's going on, so they feel a certain way, and you as a parent don't think maybe they'll outgrow this, so I don't want to do anything that's irreversible to them. It's amazing they have parents that will allow that to happen. And in places like California, you got Gavin Newsom, who's basically pushing for it. He protects that gender-affirming care. He also, it's been talked about before with just keeping parents out of the loop when it comes to that. It's gross, man. It's disgusting. Leave the fucking kids alone, man. Stop. This is the one decision a child can make for some odd reason that can have a horrible effect later on in life on them. And
lifetime.
They allow them to do it. So it's like, it makes you wonder what's behind that. You know what I mean? I don't understand what's behind that when it comes to a lot of these real left-leaning Democrats, man. Like, what are they?
And the whole
gaining
thing
by
too,
that?
in certain parts of the country, man, the teachers don't even have to explain it to the parents about it.
That's what I'm saying.
That this is just, it's just insane.
Yeah.
I'd go ape shit, dude.
Well, just
I'd be like,
imagine
my
if
son,
we,
dude, what are you doing wearing a dress coming home from school? What the fuck's up with this, dude? Who told you that?
you can't ask
Miss
me that,
Susie?
Dad.
Yeah, you can't. What? All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's illegal. No,
God.
dude, it just, I really got into this because all I can think in my brain is that there is a strong possibility that this guy could run the country one day because that's what he's going for. Whether or not he is nominated this time around, that is his goal. I mean, it's everybody who wants to be high in politics. That's their goal. He's no different. That's his fucking goal.
No.
And it's a scary thought just to watch the laws that he gets pushed through in California. To think that if he were to actually be put in that position of the most powerful leader on the face of the fucking earth, and then he gets the House and the Senate behind him or for some reason, no telling what kind of damage he could do. And it's a scary thought, man, because I don't see how anybody can look at what's going on in California and think that's how we all need to be living. It's crazy. Not saying
Well, I'm backing John Fetterman, dude.
You like John Fetterman?
On the Democrat. Yeah, he's a moderate dude. He won't be there next time. They're going to get rid of him.
Oh, yeah. He's too moderate. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, way too moderate for the Democrat Party, But yeah.
That's true. So true.
And he fooled me, dude, because really when he came out, I really thought he had a lot of left-leaning liberal views, but it seems like he's, kind of come to the middle ground on most things,
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Let me see something here. I'm gonna pull up a video to show you how out of touch and just ignorant some of these fucking Hollywood celebrities. Not that we all don't know, but I just thought it was pretty funny. So let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, I think you're a fan of him, Brad. I'm about to pull up. He is a friend of the show, Sean Penn.
Oh.
So.
Oh God. Yes.
He's one of your favorites.
Oh, the meetings with Castro and all of these dictators of the
listen
world.
to this,
I love
to
it,
this
dude.
kind of, this little back and forth with him and Bill Maher. And I got to give credit to Bill Maher, man. It seems like he's come to his senses a lot when it comes to this political.
He really has.
The only reason I would not accept an invitation is because I see no. It's a long flight, and I see no.
Really, you'll meet with fucking.
I don't think
Castro and Hugo Chavez, but not the president of the United States.
Yeah, I saw good results come out of some of those things.
Yeah, so you got the gist of it. He won't meet with Trump, but he'll go meet with those two. It like, the fuck is wrong with these people? It's amazing the job that the Democrats and the media and everybody else involved did with painting Trump so bad that you'll go meet with 100% dictators.
Hugo Chavez, and Castro,
but
and absolutely, dude.
You wouldn't meet with Trump if you had the opportunity.
Look, in all honesty, dude, Trump probably wouldn't meet with him if I had to guess it.
Well,
dude,
of course he wouldn't. I wouldn't blame him, but it just shows you that, I mean, they're not even ashamed to sit up there and say that they would go meet with people like that. But the last thing they're ever going to do is say, I'd go meet with Donald Trump. I mean, come on, man. It's crazy. But, hey, look, I got to give it to the other side, man. They did a damn good job at just portraying this man as the worst person to ever walk the face of the earth. And you don't have to like Trump, but to say he's worse than those people that this idiot went and met with, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah.
People have lost their fucking minds.
Look, I've been asked before if you had a chance to take a picture with Barack Obama, would you? I'd be absolutely, dude. I never did support him, but God, just to take a picture with him, I think that would be pretty cool in my repertoire. You know what I'm saying? So, or Bill Clinton, man. Dude, it'd be cool to have that, dude.
I would tell him, can you get in the blue dress so we could take a picture? That's what I'm gonna do.
Right. Where's Big Mike, dude? Get Big Mike in a picture, dude.
Justin, let's watch a Was It Justified video.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, homie. Let's see this. All right. Guy in a wheelchair. Let's see. Let's
68-year-old Harold Powell came into court to recount his perspective on the day he was shot on the Seattle waterfront.
More spirit than anything else, 'cause I didn't know what was going on.
Powell was playing music when Gregory Tim approached him and accused him of falsely claiming to be a veteran.
The big thing was he said I wasn't a veteran. He asked me for my ID, and I'm going to get it.
During the confrontation, video shows Tim steal a Navy patch from Powell's wheelchair. Powell responds by pulling a knife.
I was the first guy to take out the knife. Okay, because I
Powell was playing music when Gregory Tim.
I mean, we get it. Guys in a wheelchair. No. They have an argument.
No.
Wheelchair guy pulls out a knife. This dude backs up, pulls a gun out of his little fanny pack, and shoots the guy. Is that?
I don't see that justified.
Anything close to self-defense? Like, what the fuck was going through this guy's mind?
I know that's a tough call, dude, because he pulled the knife, but he stole a Navy patch. So, I mean, he pulls a knife, and then the
guy that shot started the altercation, right?
Yes, he walked up to him. And,
typically, you would lose your right to claim self-defense in most situations if you're the primary aggressor.
Right.
And somebody pulls out a weapon to defend themselves against you, you can't pull out a bigger weapon and then claim self-defense because of their weapon.
Right. But would any reasonable judge, jury, whatever, think that this guy in this wheelchair was a threat to this guy's life? You know, because isn't that how it is? They have to say like a rational person would believe their life was in danger before you can get away with claiming, well, not get away, you can claim it all day long, but to get away with the self-defense and not be, sentenced to any type of jail time. Because, I mean, clearly to me, let's see, because he charges him with the knife. Now, if you were going to shoot, it would have been right there.
Right, absolutely.
If at all, like, because he's talking, he's surprised, the guy's got a big-ass knife. But at this point, is he a threat?
No, look, I mean, the guy took the time to pull his backpack off, grab a gun out of it I just don't see how this is justified.
It's just crazy.
Just walk up a couple steps and
I
can't follow you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I forget the comedian, but it was the whole, how do people get hit by trains? He's like, look, it's this easy. You're standing on the tracks. Step to the side. It's like you're not getting hit anymore. And that's kind of what this reminds me of. Like, just fucking turn around and walk off, or whatever. But I don't see
or leave him the fuck alone from the beginning. You know what I mean?
Well,
that was kind of what led to it all.
Yeah, he was accusing him of stolen valor,
Yeah, so whether he was in a wheelchair or not, like, again, you can't go start an altercation with somebody, and then when they defend themselves against you, you can't pull a gun out, shoot them, and then say it's self-defense.
Well,
that's
even
not how it works.
Even if the guy in a wheelchair, let's say he started it. I mean, at what point is it considered he's not a threat? I don't know. I don't know if he was.
Now, was he charged? Was he charged?
Let's see. I'll tell you right now. Let's see. Video show, blah, blah, blah. Tim has pleaded not guilty to first-degree assault. So he was charged.
Yeah, good. So he'll be found guilty.
Now, he
might plea it down, but yeah.
Yeah, he was also the same guy that shot him was previously convicted in 2021 for driving his van into a Trump voter registration tent in Florida. So this dude, he's got some fucking aggression issues, Yeah, so that's all they got him with was first-degree assault. I don't know how they didn't get his ass on attempted murder.
Murder, yeah.
Yeah, that was in Seattle. Over there in Seattle, Gregory Tim on trial for shooting disabled veteran over stolen valor claims. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Doesn't seem like in response, Powell, who's a double amputee, brandished a knife and a holstered airsoft gun to defend himself. Now, that brings a different fucking context to it. Because even if you're in a wheelchair, if you brandish a gun, I don't know that's an
defending yourself.
Well, that's kind of true because he did go up to him and take, he ripped the patch off of him.
He was already in a verbal altercation.
Right.
And then he escalated that altercation by touching this man and his shit. Yeah. And then this guy being in a wheelchair, pulls out weapons to defend himself. So
Yeah.
I don't think he's got any
I
leg
don't
to
see
stand on.
Well,
Me neither.
well, we're gonna see because it's currently he's fit to go to
Oh, we're
trial.
gonna follow
on
it,
this shit.
dog. Yeah.
Fit to go to trial. Let's see.
What about this West Virginia law that was introduced? Hasn't really went anywhere. I don't know if it will go anywhere, but
Oh, it will. You're talking about Abigail? Was that West Virginia? Is that? Or is she Virginia? I think she might be Virginia.
She's Virginia. No, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So West Virginia has considered legislation to allow state-facilitated sales of machine guns to qualified residents. Right. So in the NFA, it bars private businesses, FFLs, from selling machine guns made after 1986 to the general public. All right.
Right.
It says nothing about state entities transferring and selling machine guns to the general public. So in 2026, Senate Bill 1071, known as the Public Defense and Provisioning Act, was introduced by Senators Chris Rose and Zach Maynard. The bill proposed creating an Office of Public Defense within the West Virginia State Police to acquire and sell fully automatic machine guns to eligible residents for state defense purposes. The firearms listed include AR-15/M16 platforms, M249s, MP5s, with the possibility of adding other military law enforcement style weapons. The bill outlined that machine guns would be sold at state police troop headquarters across the state. Purchasers would undergo background checks under state law, and transfers would be considered made by and under the authority of the state, citing a federal exception in, whatever code, which generally bans civilian possession of post-86 machine guns, but allows transfers conducted by the state. $250 surcharge would fund the program, with an additional administrative fee capped at $50.
So can you give me the Cliff Notes? That's so I can
layman's terms.
Basically, to get around the NFA, right now you can't buy any post 86 made machine guns. You can buy them from before then, with a tax stamp, but and private FFLs cannot sell post 86 machine guns to the public. Nor can they be registered by any member of the public. But the NFA says nothing about states selling and transferring machine guns to the general public. So what they plan to do is set up in the state police headquarters. Basically, the state police would be a class 3 FFL set up through the government, and you could buy full auto machine guns made after 1986 directly from the state, and you would get around the NFA basically.
So when they start that,
I'm all for it, dude.
It just got drawn up and introduced, so we'll see where it goes.
That shit ain't gonna pass, is it?
I doubt it. I mean, it's not huge in the news, so I don't know.
Yeah, that might make it better,
What's up, Timothy? Let me give you a shout out. I seen you tuning in, and Timothy has a belly button.
Timothy.
So I'm excited.
That's good.
They said they're not giving up, though. They said they introduced it, and they are basically going to keep pushing every session
until we can buy a machine gun.
Until something happens. Well, West Virginia, but it'd be a start.
Nice.
I see nothing wrong with that. I think we all should be able to own machine guns, rocket launchers, grenade launchers, anything you want, as long as you got a good background and you can pay for it.
Fighter jets.
What's the problem?
I agree.
Fighter jets, M1 tanks, whatever. If you can afford it, dude, you can buy it, dude. Look, if the cartel can have it, we should be able to have it.
Yeah, the machine gun shit is stupid because it's like, as far
It
as
is dumb,
not
dude.
being able to fight. I mean, come on now. I mean,
Yeah.
That's just goofy because, for one, like you said, a fucking criminal can get their hands on it. Well, I should be able to have the same firepower to protect myself that a fucking criminal
Absolutely.
has.
100%.
Yeah, I mean,
It's just goofy.
if you have a Russian-made AK and a metal file, you can make a full auto machine gun. I mean, they're not
Absolutely.
just some secret science to making a semi-auto firearm fire more than one bullet. So it's
we don't
not
know
like
anything about that on this show. So, yeah,
I've heard
yeah,
through the grapevine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like I said, a lot of the gun laws, it's just silly when, like I said, criminals can run around and get their hands on shit like that. And as an
Yeah, I mean, how many
citizen,
Glock
a
switches are
law-abiding-
getting ganked off the
Exactly.
streets?
Yeah, exactly. And as a law-abiding citizen, not that I'm gonna go run out and I need all that, but just to say that you can't. That is this. It's so goofy, man.
I need it.
Well, let's see what you boys talk. Let's pull up. Let's see here.
Saints, next week, I am asking that all church members bring a copy of your tax returns so that I can review them. I'm going to put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face during tithes and offerings on Sunday morning.
Amen. Put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face with these tithes. He wants to see their tax returns. Can you imagine hearing your pastor say that in church and still going to that fucking church? These people.
I want to know what he drives.
The fuck, you know it. I bet
drive.
Whatever it is, the notes do, because he wasn't happy, dude. He wasn't happy. And let's see.
That's why I love when Drewski made fun of the mega churches. It shows.
Yeah, and they gave him shit for that. That's exactly the type
of
of shit he was talking about. You know, that and this here, man.
Got paid. My tithe is what? 100. So, man, I got to pay my daycare. They're going to kick my kid out. Here we go. All right. Ooh. Also, I need to pay my phone bill because T-Mobile about to cut me off. Grocery. Ooh. My kid's hungry. Oh, the Lord. Oh. Here's the Lord. Here's your $100, Lord. Thank you. And then here's my mortgage payment. Now, you say, well, Pastor, that's good. That's not good. Now, see, here's the difference. I'm helping somebody right now, because if you just switch the order, you will see some increase come. Most people do what I just did. Watch this. They gave a tenth to the Lord, but they didn't do it first. We gave him a tenth, but this is how you can give a tenth and not give it first. But the scripture says the first one is what? So I done gave my money to somebody, the holy money. I done gave it to the phone bill people.
I guess he's just basically saying you got to pay the Lord. You got to pay me first. You know, fuck your bills. Make sure you give that 10th first. It's just so silly. But like you said, when Drewski was making fun of him, man, a lot of them people came out and blasted him for it, you know. And it's
they was mad.
A lot of it's true. I'm not saying they all like that, but you see that all the time, man. You know, you got the pastor wanting people to bring income tax so he can, you know, people that say, oh, I ain't really got the money to give right now. He wants to prove them wrong. I mean, it's just such a crazy it's a crazy system, and people fall for it, you know. And I'm with you. I want to see what he drives. I want to see what color his Bentley is, you know.
Absolutely. Nuts, I guarantee you it's fucking beautiful.
I see that with these big mega churches, you know, that these people go to, and I'm thinking, if I pull up to that motherfucker, if I'm in the mood to go to church, I'm not going to that one. I'm not going to some fucking church that looks like a palace, you know.
Yeah,
I'll find some small, you know, somebody that looks like they're doing it for the right reason, you know. I mean, at least that.
Well, you saw a buddy that was getting deposed. He was one of them preachers or whatever, and he was talking about how it was like a 12,000 square foot mansion, and it was for the Lord, you know, and fucking they needed it for fucking group meetings or some shit. It was just his fucking home.
Well, I seen not too long ago they had a clip of one where he was talking about this is our Bentley or whatever, and somebody hollered out, "Well, can I drive it?" And he, no. No, but he's, you know, this is our Bentley, though. You know, he's telling everybody in the church. But yeah, it's the first thing somebody in the crowd hollered is, "Can we drive it?" Nope. So yeah, it's just amazing that they keep packing churches in like that, man. And I don't know. I don't know if, you know, people, these pastors and all that make that kind of money, if they really believe in what they're preaching and just caught up in the whole financial gain of it, or if they're out there just really swindling people and don't believe any of the shit that they're preaching. I don't know. I guess it's hard to really know. Yeah, it's hard to know what's in their heart. It just seems like you wouldn't be living like you live as far as the wealth that some of these preachers and all accumulate if you really believed what you were preaching, which is the word of, if you're religious at all, Jesus Christ. Well, the last thing Jesus Christ was worried about was running around stunting and flossing, I mean, it was everything is give what you can to help the needy, So it's just weird to watch people that still go to these type of places and give their money to someone who's got 10 times more than you. It's weird. I never understood that part of it.
No, I've never understood it either.
Fuck
But
do I know.
It happens.
Well, someone said this. Let's pull
Explain
up this
your
video. Someone said this is the most annoying conversation you will ever see. Let's see what it is. Let's pull it up.
Or domestic setup.
Yeah, I'm non-binary, which means that I don't identify as a man or a woman, and I use they, them pronouns.
Okay, and your wife or partner, is it a wife? How would you describe your other half?
All of the adults in my household identify as transgender or non-binary.
Right, and you're only married to one, or you're married to both?
Legally married to one.
Right,
in a relationship with another.
So the one you're legally married to, what is their name?
Bren.
Bren, and Bren identifies as
a woman.
A
Uses
woman.
she, her.
And she was born a woman and remains identifying as a woman.
Yeah, yeah, she's a woman.
Okay, and who's the third member of the setup?
My partner Luna, who uses they, them pronouns as well.
And Luna is male or female?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. And okay, but you're not married to Luna.
No.
Okay, and you have 2 children in the house.
Yes.
Okay, and just to clarify again, Sparrow, we don't know whether Sparrow was born male or female because you haven't said that. The Sparrow is now non-binary?
No, Sparrow is, I would say, anti-gender, which is a term, that means before gender, like all...
Oh, Jesus, I can't even do it. They're right, the most annoying, I don't know how Piers made it through that or even understood all that,
When
anti-gender. That's
when
before
Pierce said
they decide.
Bren, when they were saying, like, right after he said Bren and was talking about the gender, did she say he is a she, her?
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, all of that.
Bren
Ryan,
is a she, her.
Oh, Ryan, what are you talking about? Why don't you ask her, what the fuck's that got to do
Ryan
with white
thinks
or
that
black?
you searched up pastors and cherry-picked the black videos.
I didn't search up anything. It came across X, and I bookmarked it, and it just made me think. I give the same shit to Joel Osteen. And the mega church I was talking about is actually in my area, and it's run by a white person. I just don't have any videos of him up there telling his fucking church members to bring their income tax papers, so I couldn't show it. To me, this isn't a race thing. This is about really believing in what you're preaching, but yet you're living in a fucking mansion and driving luxury cars while you're telling people living paycheck to paycheck that they're not paying enough. I don't care what color they are. So I don't know what everything turns to race with all these people on here. Like, that's just the only clip I could find. That's actually the only reason it came on mine, because I saw that clip while I was scrolling X the other day, and I was like, oh, that's funny. But believe me, if I could find the white ones doing it, which they do, I mean, there's plenty of wealthy white fucking pastors or preachers or whatever you want to call them, preaching the Lord's fucking word and becoming wealthy doing it. So
look at Kenneth Copeland, Jimmy Swaggart, screwing prostitutes, So
yeah, it is. It's just crazy. I don't know what.
And you go to the Joel Osteens, man. Look,
that's what I'm saying.
Nothing to do with race, dude.
Nope, not at all. It's got to do with just being a total asshole, no matter what color you are. But
did somebody just try to blow up a fucking synagogue up north?
In Minnesota, somebody ran a car into it.
Ran a car into it.
It was like a pre-K fucking something was going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
He lost control, dude. That's what happened, dude.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, craziness never ends, man.
It's never gonna end, dude. Yeah, it was in Michigan, actually.
Yeah. Well, what else is going on in the world of craziness?
These comments.
I think one of our refueling planes just crashed and killed six service members.
Yeah. Trump's fault.
Well, but we need to celebrate. Mayor Mamdani has named New York's first trans woman to lead in his new office. So that's good. You know, I'm sure it's not DEI at all. This person will probably do a great job at whatever position he, she, whatever's at. So I see the nonsense hasn't stopped over there. What else? Mom of teen who baked to death in Walmart oven describes 16. Opened the door. I think I remember that story.
Yeah,
I
Was
do
it the one
remember
that got
hearing about
trapped
that.
in
Yeah.
the,
They were like,
in
we
the
don't know
oven,
what
huh?
happened.
I still don't know how it happened. Like, because they said they had emergency, like, you know, latches or whatever on the inside to get out of them things.
Yeah.
Apparently it didn't work, but
God, what a way to die, huh? Jesus Christ.
yeah, that's crazy, bro. That's nuts. Trying to see, man, before we get it off of here. Like I said, I know at some time next week, you know, we got the guy who runs the Louisiana Cajun Navy coming on. Going to talk to him for a little bit, see what he's got to say, kind of grill him on what he does and what got him started and shit like that. So
that'll be a good one, dude.
Get into that. Yeah, it's a good one. They do a lot of good, you know, just them Cajun
do.
Navies, man. Any disaster around the country, they're, you know, boom, they're running to it. So, you know, that'll be a decent one. But anyway, all right. Well, let's wrap it up. I'm getting off of here. I'm bored. So until next time.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
Love y'all in the comments, man. Subscribe, like our
good
videos, watch them, spread the news.
Yeah,
So,
it's
thank
a
y'all.
slow night. We'll get back at it. What, Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's today? Friday.
Unless something breaks over the weekend, we'll see y'all Monday. You know.
Yep. All right. Well,
Timothy, Matt, hang tight, brother. We love y'all, man.
Yep. Y'all be good. Later.
Later. Peace.